conversation with some fascinating ladies who've changed the game in the world of video, music, and gaming. Only on Hungama Game Changers Leadership Series podcast.
Hi, welcome back to Hungama Game Changers 2025, where we celebrate women who aren't just participating in the future of entertainment and gaming, they're shaping it. I'm Raunaq, and today on the Leadership Series, we are joined by someone who has quite literally rewritten what it means to create, educate, and empower through gaming. Reine Abbas is the founder of Spica Tech, a groundbreaking academy teaching coding and game development to children and teenagers, especially encouraging more girls into STEM. She's an award-winning game designer, entrepreneur, educator, and a true advocate for the creative economy. Named by Forbes as one of the top women in gaming in the region, she doesn't just entertain, she builds futures. Reine, welcome to Hungama Game Changers.
Thank you so much.
All right. I'm going to start by just saying you've been called a pioneer in some of the research that I was able to do many times over. Can you take us back to the beginning? What first drew you into gaming, and how did you know this was your path?
Well, I remember I was 15, and I remember I went with my two brothers to a place where everyone play games, these big Ataris machines. But I remember this place is not allowed for us girls. It is a dangerous place to go inside. So I remember these machines talked to me. I felt something, I want to play, but it was impossible for me to go there. I remember I went home. I went to the hairdresser, I cut my hair, I dressed as a boy, and I remember my parents were not happy at all. I changed the whole look. I remember I went with my brothers for many times to these places. I played with these Atari machines, and I remember back then that I fell in love with video games, but I never thought I would be doing video games. So this is the beginning. And then I remember I was working with Warner Brothers. They had a series for Saudi country series about a family. And someone told me that the Japan, Nintendo in the US, they want someone to work with them. So I remember that I did not know how to do video games, but I was so motivated. I wanted to go there. I lied a small lie. I said, yes, I know video games, I know game design. So fake it till you make it, and I did the interview. It was really good, and I started to work in the gaming industry. I started as an artist, and then game designer, and then producer, and then entrepreneur.
All right. Spica Tech is a visionary idea, right? It comes from the premise of this big vision of teaching coding and creativity to kids. What was the spark that made you decide this needs to exist?
Yeah, so I remember I have 3 kids, but back then I had only my little boy. He was 4 years old, I remember. So he told me, Mom, you do video games, because back then I had my own company. I was producing video games. So he told me, Mom, you do video games. Why don't teach me and the other students in my class to do our own video games? Because everyone is playing, but no one is creating. So yeah. I love the idea, and immediately I remember I went to his school. I went to the class. I talked to the teacher. I told her, you have to do this. You will be the first teacher to do this, you know. And she loved the idea. I created a 15 hours game design course for your 4 years old kids. And this is the start. And the next, I thought I have to do an academy officially. I remember the first class ever, it was full class, because everyone wanted to create their own video games. And this is how it started. My little boy, it was his idea, and I created it.
That's a great inspiration and muse. Tell me, apart from your own children, how have you seen students' lives and ambitions change through gaming? And I don't mean just the ones who've been through your academy, because you've been a great advocate within the gaming community. So how have you seen gaming change people's lives?
A lot. It's a life-changing experience, because you are really shifting these kids, these they are like digital junkies, to be producers. So it's not only they are creating their own video games, They're not only, learning math, science, reading, writing, storytelling. They are creating their own world. Especially when I worked with NGOs, with unfortunate kids.
Yeah.
These kids, for them, this education gave them power. I empowered them by creating their own word, solution for their life, maybe better, life. Because you go in the games, this is the power of games. We create different words, imaginary words. It's a problem solving anyway product. So yes, rich kids, poor kids, unfortunate kids, spoiled kids, all kind of kids that went through my academy. It changed their lives, especially the model I created. It's not only they creating, small pillars of the production. No, they need to create. I insist for them to create a full product. And this is important because if you don't create a product and I publish these products online, this is not empowering. Empowering is to finish the product and put this product online. So the whole process is empowering, not only in education, in finishing the product and show your work to the world. So yes, I saw this change in every kid, and especially girls, because I worked with a lot of NGOs to reach all these girls in Lebanon and the region, especially in the areas where the education is not accessible for them.
Right.
So I remember also a lot of all the girls they did this gaming, workshops. I changed their lives because also education, not only again math, science, reading, writing, is creating their own destiny. And for them, by contacting me, talking to me, I'm always there in all these, especially in these initiatives. I insist to be there in these courses, not only my team. For them, these girls, when they talk to me and saw me, I'm doing this,
Yes.
it was enough for them to change their mindset and to know it's not only us here to get married and to be in the kitchen and mothers. No, we can create our businesses, our world, our games. We can be a change makers. So personally, I was inspired for them, and also this education is like changing. We are giving them a know-how. They take the know-how from the first workshop. They can go do their own games from home. So this is important, and it was important for me.
No, I think, you're absolutely right. It is empowering. And, like I mentioned when we spoke before, for so many young girls, you can't be what you can't see. And it's great for them to also have you as a role model that they can see that, oh my God, she's badass. I want to be just like her.
Exactly.
There's a lot of debate also today in the level of digital addiction, like you mentioned, that games are a distraction versus gaming as a tool for learning or empowerment. And I know that there's a lot of game developers that are looking at gaming also to shift conversations, to be empowering. But what would you say to kind of parents and policymakers who are skeptical about gaming's positive role in education and growth?
Of course, because games are fun and
Yes.
engaging. And this is how you can manipulate in a good way the kids or young people or youth to change them. And it should be challenging and should be fun and engaging. So these are games. You have the game system, reward system. These are for the challenge, the level up of the experience. So games are the best medium to educate, not only, again, reading, writing, or languages, or math, science. You can really collect data also from these youth, problems, mental health, maybe sexual harassment. So games are the best medium to change because, again, it's fun. But the problem is that a lot of games, education games, or games, the informative games, or games that use it for education or change, were not fun and engaging. Because a lot of developers, they want to do a product to educate, but they end up with a product that is not fun. It's not playable.
So it's not popular.
Yeah, and there's no mechanics, there's no engagement, it's not fun. I don't jump immediately into gameplay. So there's no mastery or autonomy for the player. So that's why you can find a lot of apps or educational games that did not do any change. It's like school, exactly like school. You're copying school, you're telling them what to do. So games, when done really good, As games, you have the fun elements, sounds, the visuals, interactive, the mechanics, the gameplay, the player choices, all these elements. These games can really change a lot in all aspects in society, again, in education and mental health. So games are powerful, and playing games also is good. So a lot of parents, they say, I don't want them to play games, but games are really good for the brain because you have decision making, problem solving, focusing, reflex. But also the age group is important. A lot of kids, they play games not for their age, and this is the problem. So again, parents are the responsibility is only for the parents. But as a game producers, we know what we're doing specifically for age group. So at the end, yeah, games are powerful medium to change, but sometimes also to create, non-ethical or toxic environment.
Yes.
So it's critical.
All right. So since you mentioned toxic environments, gaming, I think largely for women, can be a mixed space, whether you're a gamer or you're a game developer. So I'd love to hear first of all, I'd love to hear how you've got to a point where you were accepted, in gaming, where you felt like an equal and you felt like you had a voice.
As a game producer, you mean?
As a game producer, yes.
Yes, I remember when I started with DigiPan, I was the only, I think, female, or we were only two, and the others are male, so
Yeah.
2 over 30. And, back then I did not think about this. I did not even notice that. I was not thinking about this, I'm the only girl in the team. I did what I had to do. I wanted to learn. I wanted to do really amazing. So I was a really hard work employee or producer when I was with them. I think this hard work gave result, and they saw me. Maybe took a long time to see me. Maybe my work makes me shine. But yes, it was a little bit shocking for them. Oh, she's a girl. She's a girl who did all this work. It was shocking for them. But I remember that I competed with any species. It's not only I'm a girl, I have to compete. I did I have to do. I did really good with passion. I did a really great work. I jumped from game artist to producer to head of department back then. So, but I noticed that when I became an entrepreneur. And when I won my first recognition, if you want, when I was selected one of the 5 most powerful women in gaming, I was shocked why they put me in a category, why I am in a category with women, although I competed with all species, there's no problem with that. So I noticed that why I am with only 4 females. And here I remember because I published a really successful game, and all these articles started to talk about me, decision maker in video games. That's why these games are shining, are doing good. I started to discover that I am in this list, top 5, top 15 women in history. Yeah. I was not happy. I was mad because I can't. We are different species, and we only belong to a specific list. For me, this is not acceptable. So I started to do a research why we are few in the gaming industry. I did not know that till it took a lot of years to discover this because of these selections. Yes, I discovered that till now you are raised, the girls are raised to be specifically, to do specific things. And if you see the media till now, social media, books they read in schools, always the mom is in the kitchen, and girls are at the end moms, only moms. And if you go to toy stores, till now, the girls section all pink and all the dolls. And this is our future, to be mom and to take care of babies. And it's really attractive for girls because pink is attractive anyway. So they they only want this. And if you're a section of boys, it's all violent, it's all violence, So till now, the education and how we are raising kids and the media not showing them they can do whatever they want. That's why I was so upset, and I started to to take to add to my activities to be public speaker. And everywhere I'm invited, I always talk about this. I insist that I don't want to be on a panel with only females. I don't want to be on the list with only females. So I insist to always bring men. We can talk to them. We can discuss. There's nothing wrong with that. So, and I started through my academy also to offer free all the courses, and my academy free till now for girls, because even parents, they're not enrolling them. Of course, even if free, they were not bringing them, because for them she can dance, play piano, maybe, but to do her own video games. So I had to fight this till now. I have to fight this, thinking to convince them. No, she can do. She's smart. She can do this. So this is the. So it's a fight, I think, forever. I don't know.
It is a fight. Reine, I was talking to a young gamer, and she told me that she said it took me a lot of time to come up with my gaming name once I became like a e-gamer and an elite gamer. She's a very good player. She said, but my name is, I think it's Mystic Ignite. And she says I kept it vague so that you don't know from my name what I am. She said, and in the headset also, when I'm on the chat, she said, I don't actually talk unless I absolutely have to, or if I hear another woman. And then I sort of feel, okay, then it's not going to be just me. And I feel like it's really sad, because in gaming is the one place where it's the one sport where gender does not compute. It doesn't matter who's stronger. It doesn't matter who's physically bigger. This is that one place where you should be able to, all things equal, be the better player.
Because it's brain, only the brain skills.
There is. I also think that there's a certain amount of it is also in the language around gaming. Like when you say, are you a gamer? I mean, I've been reading the statistics. 49% of all gamers, according to Facebook, are now women. That's basically people who are also doing casual gaming, serious gaming, whatever form of gaming. But only, I think, about 6% of them identify as a gamer. They don't say, oh, I'm a gamer. I mean, I may say that, oh, I publish games, we develop games, we make games, but you may not go out there and say, you know what, I'm a gamer. I may play 2-3 hours a day, but it's not something that you're saying. Now tell me, apart from this issue, what are some of the biggest hurdles you faced being all the challenges in what is otherwise a male dominated industry, and how can sort of the next person shorten the learning curve on that?
Again, while I was producing, I was employee and then entrepreneur. Maybe in my case, I did not face these obstacles, because I was doing what I want to do, And I noticed that, yes, we are few, the panels, there's no women in panels, in teams, that only women are, doing the marketing, maybe the business part, but not the production. So me personally, it was not obstacle for me, but I saw this obstacle for other girls. But if you want to me as personally, because when I became gaming entrepreneur, I was newly married, and I became pregnant, and I started my journey to learn how to be an entrepreneur and to be a mother at the same time. It was hard for me to convince my two partners, they are male, that all is good, I'm not sick. I saw the fear in their eyes. I saw that she's sick, she will stop everything because she's pregnant. I had to work double power. I had to do double effort to show them, no, I don't be afraid, everything is okay. And when I delivered my first baby, also I did not want to, I couldn't leave the work, I couldn't take break because we had a lot of projects. So also I had to how to say it, I wanted to bring my baby to breastfeed and the company to continue the operation. It was hard for them to accept this change in the office. There's a baby that's crying and she's with her baby breastfeeding. So I had to do a lot of effort to show them that it's okay, I can do it. It's a shame because we should not do this. But I had to prove to them I can do it. And this is double power, double, effort, double, shift. Yeah, so it was a fight for me, but also I knew that one day it will help other women, because till now there's a lot of girls that are afraid to step into this industry and to be decision makers, entrepreneurs, producers, indie developers, or any or an employee in this industry, specifically in video games, because it's really hard industry.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid that one day they will, get engaged, they get married, maybe they can't take a decision, they have to stop. So they afraid to take big steps and to steps or to take risks, because they are afraid if they have to baby kids, they can't continue. So I knew that while I'm doing this, I'm fighting, and it was really hard for me, that one day this story will help other girls and women to learn that we can do whatever we want. We can really put our own rules. Wherever we are, we can change around us. We should not follow. We should change. And it takes time. Maybe it will be weird. It will be frustrating, but we have to do what we have to do. So back then, I know it was hard, but I know I will tell the story one day. It was a long process because, all my journey, I had 3 kids during this time,
Right.
All the awards I had, I was pregnant. All the talks I had, even TEDx talks, I was pregnant with my second baby. So this proved that we can do everything, but we don't have to do double effort. But, this is the era, and still we have to prove this. So this is the hardest part for me. But I try to fight and to help other women and girls in this industry. I had to tell them, you have to do it, you have to step forward, don't be afraid to apply. You can do whatever you want. It's okay, you can do many things at the same time. I know we should not do, but this is the way we can do our dreams, and so. But yes, there's there's a lot of gap. But if you see, مثلا, in GDC, when I was there, I saw a lot of female speakers, maybe producers also, but also it was not in the decision maker inside the production.
Yes.
It was all or psychology or marketing or business or maybe
Even narrative,
operation, publishing.
Now tell me, you spent a lot of time at some big studios like Nintendo and DigiPen. What made you decide to switch out of working with a large studio and starting your own?
Yeah, I started to get bored because all the games was, for DigiPen, for Boeing, for Microsoft. I'm Lebanese. I live in Lebanon. I was going to the US and coming back all the time because I started DigiPen in Lebanon with them. I noticed that, there's something missing. I'm doing great. It's a great post. Anyone will make anything to be there, especially girls, if you want, because I am the only girl. But one day, if you can listen to my TEDx talk, I said that I was stuck on the road between young people beating each others because, these politicians told them, go do this, so they can, put their agendas, manipulate people, put more corruption. I remember I was stuck and I said, I have to do something. And I decided while I was stuck there, I have to do something. And the only thing I know is video games. I know video games can really change because there's manipulation, engagement, there's trigger, you can trigger players. So in this moment, I decided to do a street fight game between the politicians in Lebanon. I remember only 2 months underground after work. We were only 3 people. These 2 people were from my team. And we decided to do a street fight game between these politicians. Right. And we created a scoring system. It was an innovation back then. The first live scoring system online to the web. There's no social media back then. It's only web. And we real-time scoring system for each politician. So if you love this politician and play with him and you win, his score will be, a leaderboard.
Right.
I remember we only sent some few messages on the political blogs, told them your politician will be playing online, go and check in this specific date on this hour. I remember for the first second, millions went into online and played this game. And because of the research, everyone was doing research all over the world, all the media, everyone was talking about this game, that this game, it was, facing for violence with violence, or you really changing? All that is what really changed. We shift these people from the ground, from the real life, and they stopped and went online and played with these politicians. It was fun. They were laughing. We manipulated them in a way so we can shift them. It was so successful. 40 million unique users in a few months. It
Wow.
was a huge, all the planet was engaged in this game. It was a huge, huge success. In this one, I said, you know what? I can do games. I can change my reality. I can do games that can do impact. I have a lot of problems in Lebanon, our region. I have this power. I have to use it. So I quit my job. I registered my own company. All the investment I invested in this company, and I started Books Studios. It was one of the first companies in the region, gaming. But everyone said, you're crazy. There's no gaming industry. There's no infrastructure for you. You live in a country in a war zone. There's no electricity. Even how you will do that? I opened the company. I started services, advert games in the region. We did not have advert games, and this is how I started. I did a lot of games with a lot of impact with NGOs, my own IPs, and it was amazing experience. So that's why I quit, and I quit my
The
ideas.
incredible thing is you were able to engage not just 40 million people, you were able to engage the youth in a political conversation. And that itself is so exciting. Now, tell me, what do you think is the AI is coming in. It's, I think, scaring a lot of people in the gaming industry. It's also disrupting a lot of the processes. What do you believe is the way forward integrating AI? Because it's not like it's going away.
I don't know. AI is the key element in video games. So the first game ever done was based on AI. AI is important in video games for the experience, for the challenge. I need to feel that the machine is really a real guy, real woman, real, enemy fighting me. So AI already there from the beginning, and we can't do video games without AI system for the experience. So for me, it's the opposite. AI is always there from the beginning in video games, but using AI to help us in the experience and maybe in the game design. I don't think it's a big, danger. We already work with AI. It is important. There's a lot of games like EA, FIFA game, like Fear, like Call of Duty. All these games, the AI system for the non-playable factors is important, also for the experience. So it's not a big monster. It's our friend in the gaming industry. It's different than other industries. And the opposite again. Helping us to take data from long years of the user experience, player experience, to help us maybe cut a little bit time to do the learning curve, based on previous data. So the opposite, AI is our friend.
Okay. And in that case, given that the gaming landscape is moving at lightning speed, what is the trend? What are the 2 or 3 trends that you're most excited about that you think are going to be evident in the next 2-3 years of gaming or next 5 years of gaming?
Yeah, for me, follow the trend for the money, follow the money. We know that. But for me, there's a lot of trends in the gaming industry. Still, each market has its own power. Like the mobile, it's still powerful. The casual games still powerful. Yes, the metaverse maybe took a really big step into video games. The metaverse, like Roblox, the Sandbox, Fortnite also, there are metaverse. For me, this is a great experience. The metaverse is a great experience, is giving players the full power to create their own video games, to have a presence online, to be part of the stores, to communicate more as a communities. For me, there's no specific trends in video games. Still, for me, again, the mobile is still important. You have hyper casual games were trend. Now there are like other games. Still till now, the action games, horror action games are important. The console games still there with Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft. And for me, in video games, there's short-term trends. You have trends, but it's always become always transferred into new markets maybe. But Maybe yes, metaverse is still dominating, but for me, it's really great experience. We are creating a lot of initiatives to the metaverse. For me, VR, like using headset,
Yes.
for me, still limited. No, it's
Yes.
still experimenting, maybe for only for simulation. And when it's pure simulation, we don't consider it video games. But doing great in health, to train. But for me, VR will stay trend. I don't think it will develop into market itself for me. Mixed reality is
With the
dominating also.
hardware,
Mixed reality. I think mixed reality is really interesting now.
yes.
Also, I'm working on a lot of projects with mixed reality. It's a really great experience. Engagement is really high, but I also think it will stay trend or it will be implemented.
Tell me, running a business, mentoring future leaders, and then being a creator yourself, how do you stay inspired and keep growing as a leader, but also as a creator?
Yeah, they always tell me how you do that. There's a lot of game designers or entrepreneurs or leaders in the video games. They focus on the business part, the business development, and they forgot that they have to be gamers too.
Yes.
So play games is a vitamin. It's a vitamin for us. It's a really good for us as education and to be aligned with what's happening. Like I said, trends, technology. So we can't shift this from us. So I'm an entrepreneur, producer, developer, educator, but I can't be not to be a gamer. So to play
Right.
games is really important to stay creative, to stay productive, to stay fresh. And the biggest motivation for me still till now is to do games or solutions to change realities. I did
Right.
it in many initiatives, like maybe humanitarian initiatives, environment, education. I think to do something to change someone's as reality or my reality, it's always my biggest motivation. I have a lot of projects going on, but again, you can't be only a business person and publisher, producer. You have to keep on playing games because it will keep you creative and fresh.
Okay. In gaming, Rain, there has been a fair amount of, apparent toxic workplace syndrome. And
Mm.
I know a lot of people are trying to change this for some reason. I think we have a lot of young people that get into the industry, but I also see a lot of people burn out and get out of the industry. What does leadership mean to you in a field that changes so rapidly, but also, needs this excitement that comes with a lot of youth? So how do you sort of feel like leaders should be handling themselves, their teams? What can young
Mm.
people in the industry expect of those leaders?
Young people, you mean in the production or playing games?
Production, as in the industry, when
Yeah.
you go to the office like that.
Mm. Uh, you know, I know success is important for them. So it's the most frustrating part in a team and a production house or a company, your game not to do really good online. This is the most frustrating part, and a lot of people, young people or young designers, they decide I can't handle this stress or this disappointment. Okay, so that's why for me what I do is the young people, they enter my company, they start fresh graduated or designers. I don't put them in the biggest projects. What I do
Right.
is I train them, and also I make them work on small projects to put online on Steam, so we can show them the KPIs, how to engage, how to manipulate. Because and also I want them to test the failure, but in a really small dose. Okay,
Yeah.
to play your game, and you're expecting thousands to play the game. Why? The why is important. Okay,
Yes.
and sometimes you do everything, but your game doesn't work. That's
Yeah.
why to be a leader and to empower your team is really to work on all aspects, the failure, the success, to prepare them, not to have a lot of expectations. I give them a lot of examples on the producers or publishers of Angry Birds. I always give them this example that they almost, shut down the company and suddenly it worked. But they were creative. That's why it worked, because they worked on the gameplay and new reward system. So there's a chance, but also there's to have to be creative. And for me, I don't have this huge problem, because I know what it takes to do a really successful game. Because a lot of studios, they don't focus again on how to build the game. They focus on, we do a document and we follow document. And this is not how we do it with the games. You have to create the mechanics to focus on. It should feel good from the beginning. And the core gameplay, you have to have player choices, autonomy, mastery, core gameplay, test, and then you do a gameplay, you put online, you test it, and then you jump to the learning curve, the level design. So I think to be a leader and to be educator and to know the theories and the psychology behind game design, psychology in video games, and how to build experience and how to manipulate and how to engage and the fun factors, I think it will help your team to understand the whole production. So to have the team involved in all these aspects, if the game will not do good, it will be less shocking for them, because they know they did good, and we have to learn from the mistakes. So, I work on all these, things to keep the team innovative, innovative and also motivated in case the game did not did good, because there's a lot of competition. But till now, all our products, all our games were really successful. And I'm so proud. A lot of my team went to bigger companies or big companies. I have a lot of team. They worked with the Rovio. They worked with big EA. They left the company to go bigger, and I encourage them. I want to produce producers. So I'm so proud of this. But again, yes, from the beginning, especially young people, fresh graduates, they need to know that not every title will be successful, and why it will not be, and why it will be. This is important.
Yeah, I think that's actually the crux of it, right? The why. And there are very few jobs in which you will find out so very quickly if that little change that you've made is working or not. You will find out as soon as you take it live. You'll know in a matter of 6 hours if players are enjoying that change or not.
That's why they need to know that the first few seconds, and this is the mechanics. The first thing we do is the mechanics, and it should be challenging from the beginning. We have to fail, we have to lose. So not all the companies or leaders or head of game design, they know these elements, and this will make it easy for the leads to guide the team, to have this know-how.
I think that's a really important part. You mentioned that you've had a lot of your games, touch wood, have been wildly successful. Tell me about one of the mistakes or failures that turned into a lesson that you hold.
Yeah, I did a really big mistake. We had a game, Survival Race. It was so successful. We had 20 million downloads in 1 week. But the mistake I did, I took an investment to this game, big investment. Okay, I took investment, I pitched, I took it immediately. I grew my team, and we focused only on this game for almost 1 year. The mistake I did, that I stopped all the services to do this game, and services we were doing really good. We had Red Bull, Ferrari, Heineken, big names, NBC, big names. These Jazeera Network, they were our clients, and we were really generating money from. That's why I took the investment, because I was doing good, not a need for money. I wanted to grow the team to do this game. So the mistake I did, I stopped everything, all the services, just to focus. The whole team was doing this game. Yes, we published this game. It was successful, but to generate money from these 20 million downloads, the in-app purchase was not working. So it was easy to generate, but we had a real mistake in the economy of the game.
Right.
So I remember I asked the investors to inject more money so we can fix it. We can outsource the economy of the app purchase or the system, so we can generate easily these
Yes.
300 to 100 million dollars. Sorry, 2 million, 3 million. It was easy to do to get the fund back, but they did not accept. So I had to do it by myself. I lost a lot of my team. You know, the game was doing really good, but I was going down from the other side. You know, I losing my team. I couldn't pay anymore. But the game was featured in the biggest book on the game design. I won a lot of awards. It was an amazing game. The game design, the innovation in it. It was on the global number one racing game in all markets. But we had small mistake in the in-app purchase, so we can generate because we had a lot of downloads. They did not accept, and I lost almost 70% of my team. And you know, I was struggling, or I was lost. I shut down the company, or I continue. I was, you know, struggling. I was
Because
lost.
it's very challenging.
Yeah, and a lot of companies wanted to recruit me immediately because when you are an entrepreneur and you fail, for them, she will not fail again. She learned her mistakes. So I had, you know, job offers from all over from the US, the Europe, from the region. We wanted to be CEO, you wanted to founder everything. So I was, you know, struggling. I shut down and go to these big posts, or I continue. I remember, you know, I stopped working with my partners. You know, we did exit. I became alone in the company, and I started new strategy. I contacted the clients again, you know, and I started to get one client after another. And it took me time, maybe 1 year to stand on my feet again and to recruit a new team. And we're doing really good now again. But I learned a big mistake that never focus on one production and never let the whole team work on it. You always have to have many sources of income, so you have back a plan A, plan B. This is what one of my biggest.
Correct. Reine, if you could go back and tell your younger self one thing, what would you tell yourself?
It's hard question. You make me cry. No, I had a really difficult teenager life because I was always against the rules. I always wanted to do my own things. I was really focusing on my skills. I remember all, where I was living, the whole people, maybe our relative or the people living around us, they saw me as the weird person. She's weird. She's like psycho. She's drawing all the time. She's reading all the time, and she's not social. I want to do things I couldn't do. My parents said, no, you can do this, you can do it. I cried a lot, I felt that, it's over for me many times. If I want to go back then and I will tell myself, Ran, you will do it. I know you're crying. I know you're against the system, but you will continue to do this, and you will be against the system all your life. So you'll do it. Don't cry a little bit, but you will do it. So don't be frustrated. There's hope for you. This is what I will go back and tell her.
I think that's actually very good advice for all the young girls out there dreaming of creating their own worlds.
Yeah.
Reine, first of all, I want to sort of thank you for giving me time. One of the things that we do before we wrap up is we invite every person in the leadership series to nominate 2 women you believe are game changers that we should be highlighting for redefining gaming, education, or just the future of creative tech. So, if you can suggest 2 women that you think are doing a bang-up job and should be highlighted and amplified, we'd be delighted to hear them. You can tell me the names now, or you can send me an email later as well.
Yes, I will send it. I have to think about it, but amazing initiative, great initiative.
Okay. Well, in that case, I'm going to wrap up. I appreciate the extra time that you've given me today. Reine, thank you. And not just for your time today, but also for showing a generation of creators that they have a place, they have a voice, and that they have a future in this world. It's been lovely having you.
Thank you so much.
I'm Raunaq Roy. This is Hungama Game Changer. Thank you for tuning in to Hungama celebration of women who aren't just playing the game, they're changing it.
In conversation with some fascinating ladies who've changed the game in the world of video, music, and gaming. Only on Hungama Game Changers Leadership Series podcast.